Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Charleen if you're new here, and today I'm going to be doing my current makeup routine. This is really highly requested on my Instagram and I feel like I haven't filmed one in ages. I feel like every time I'm like, oh, I just filmed one and look back and it's like a year ago. So I'm going to do an updated one now. Some products stay the same, some have changed. I still kind of switch between products. Like these products aren't like set every single day. And I change things and I find things I love and kind of revisit them and stuff like that. But this look that I'm about to do is kind of what I wear in my Instagram pictures and my stories when I have makeup on. Kind of like an everyday, but like definitely not everyday look. I just can't be arsed wanting makeup on every day. I just can't do it anymore. So I'm gonna get right into it and show you my routine. So first up, I use the Bobbi Brown face base. I'm pretty sure I used this in my last one as well, and I still have the same one. It lasts you ages. Smells like a dream, feels like a dream on the skin. I actually got this as part of one of my collaborations with Look Fantastic, but it's definitely something I would rebuy myself. It's so nice. It's more on the expensive side. I remember even when I seen it, I was like, oh god, I probably wouldn't have paid that myself. But now that I've tried it, I'm like, okay, I would pay that myself because it is so worth it. It's so moisturising, especially if your skin is anyway dry. Mine can get quite dry, especially wearing face tan. Okay. I clearly want to eat that primer as well. I love it that much. I feel like especially if your face is dry, this is just so nice, and I do like to lather it on. And again, there's so much left. I literally can't do my makeup without it anymore. This is definitely one of the products that just never changes. I'm obsessed. This step then, I don't actually always do. I do it when I remember, or I do it when my eyes are feeling a little bit dry. They are feeling a little bit dry today just because I have tan on my face. This is the Flormar Mercier Illuminating Eye Cream. Just really nice for under your concealer, and I feel like, I think anyway, it makes my under eyes crease less when they're just more hydrated. These brushes I've actually been using since my first ever makeup tutorial on YouTube. They're really good. This is the same one. This is a Rebelluna R09, I believe. It's scratched off because I've used it that much. Rebelluna R09, and then this I actually used in my first makeup tutorial as well. This is the Flormar Double Radiance Primer. This is one of the products that I kind of go between and like rediscover every few months. So I was using the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in the shade 5, which I still do use sometimes, but then I also like this. It just depends. Today I'm going to use the Flormar Double Radiance Primer. So I'm going to be quite glowy after my base, but that's what I want, because the more glowy you are underneath, the more glowy you're going to look afterwards, because you can't let your foundation do all the work. Sorry, I'm just sitting here with like my face dripping wet. Foundation just can't do all that much for you. I feel like it can give you coverage and colour, yeah, but I think your base is just so important, and I just feel like I've really learned that from my like makeup journey, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just going to buff this in. Just like so. This just makes you literally glow to the gods. This on holidays, by the way. Oh my god, it's just the nicest thing ever. It's just so, like, look at that. It's just so glowy and does give you a little bit of colour. Not coverage, I wouldn't say, but it does definitely give you a little something more than just a glow. This I recently rediscovered. I think I used this in my first tutorial as well. This is the Anastasia Liquid Glow in the shade Peach Fizz. I'm just popping this here just for a bit more glow, because why not, you know? It's okay if you're scared of how glowy you are after these products, because you might look like the Tin Man, but trust the process and it's all worth it in the end. So okay, next we're on to foundation. I'm using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear in the shade Syracuse. I loved this before, but I had it in Tahoe and it was way too dark, so I had to keep mixing it, which is kind of an effort. And if I wanted to quickly do my makeup, I wasn't grabbing for it. I was like, I'll grab something that actually matches, but I don't love it as much. This is just insane. It really matches when I have dark tan on, which I do at the moment. So like I did with the primer, I'm just literally buffing it into the skin. And just making sure it's all nice and blended. Just taking a little bit at a time. There's no need to like dollop a load on, especially if you're like unsure on foundation or you don't want to look too cakey. And especially because them primers and stuff and the liquid highlighter kind of did give me a little bit of colour, so I just need a bit of coverage and then we're good to go. You can see how much my skin is still glowing from underneath, but it's not like the scary Tin Man glow. It's like, wow, she's glowing from within kind of glow, which is what you want. But now I'm just using a beauty blender. This is just magic. I use this for loads of stuff. I know my hands are quite pale, but my tan on my hands washes off so much quicker. Obviously I was washing them and stuff, so they're basically tan free, which is why they look so different. Let's just ignore that. Okay, cream contour. I do this every day, no matter if it's like a light makeup look or a heavy makeup look. I just think this is so nice. It just means you have to use less powder contour, which makes you feel, well, makes me feel like heavy and cakey when I have too much powder on. So this is what I use. So this is a Fenty Beauty match stick in the shade Mocha. So I'm popping these on my forehead and my cheekbones and kind of like up into my temple, is that what it's called? Yeah. Temple, and then my nose as well. And then taking the same brush again. I use this for literally way too much. I'm just blending this in, just patting and kind of, yeah, patting it in. And as you can see, it literally blends like a dream. Just like butter into the skin. But the key to this look is just blending, taking your time with things that need taking time, and then, you know, just, I don't know what the last part is, but just blending basically, making sure everything's nice and seamless. Next is concealer. I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer in the shade Custard, but I'm also going to mix it because this is a bit too dark, I think, sometimes. I'm going to pop some just under my cheekbone as well. And then mixing that with my Sculpted by Aimee Brighten Up Concealer in the shade Beige. And then I'm using my Beauty Blender just to blend that all in. I'm doing that little flick kind of on the outer corner with the concealer. Just really lifts your eye as well. Okay, next then, so I only got this, but I've been using it since I got it and I love it. This is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for under eyes, and it's in the shade 1. I love the normal Laura Mercier powder as well. I'll use it for the rest of my face, but I got this in Pure and I've been loving it. It's just really nice and bright, and I feel like sometimes under eye powders can kind of make a cast under eye and make them darker, but I like the way this really kind of blurs and brightens the under eye. I'm using my Nema brush and it's called Maria for this. And then this is perfect too if you don't want to use, you don't want to buy both powders. So I'm just going to use this just for the rest of the places I want to set just beside my nose. I wouldn't have purchased the eye brightening one myself just because I do love this one, but now that I've been sent it, I do really like it. But if you're going to get one of them, I'd say get this just because it's more versatile. So next is brows. I'm going to come back to my blush and my highlight and my bronzer. I don't really know why I've went this way, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm using the Brow Freeze from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I don't know what happened to it. It used to be clear and it went this weird colour and it's gone weird, so I'm just going to like dig from underneath and get some, which is such a shame because it's actually expensive for what it is, but I do really like it. But yeah, this is really good but really expensive, and also don't leave it out because it turns weird. I don't know what happened to that. So this is how I spike them up, just like so. Please also ignore the fact my eyebrows need doing very badly. But I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. I feel like they're just amazing at brow products, like they really are. I'll try to show you as best I can. I'm just drawing like a slight line underneath, and I'm kind of bringing it like straight rather than an arch. I feel like straight brows kind of just suit me more, so I've kind of drawn, as you can see, like that, and then I'm just going to fill in any little gaps I have. So I'm just going to keep filling. It kind of does take a little bit of time to get them how I like them, so I'll come back when I have the other one. Brows are done. I'm going to go on to bronzer. So I have either NARS Matte Laguna or MAC Give Me Sun. I kind of just switch between these as I please. I don't really have a preference on them, but they do kind of look a little bit different, so I wouldn't say one is kind of like a dupe for the other. I just started using NARS there, so I'm going to keep using NARS. It's just such a nice bronzer, so blendable, really nice tone. I just think it's really universal, whereas this one is more warmer. I feel like this one contours better, whereas this one is more of like a bronzer, if that makes sense, but I want to look like sucked in, so we're gonna use. Okay, bronzer is on. I'm gonna go with blush. So I either kind of, these are my two faves. So MAC Just a Pinch is an extra dimension blush. I don't know if this discontinued, it possibly might be, but this is what we're looking like. So nice and glowy and fab. And then Natasha Denona, this is called Bloom, so it's a glow powder blush. This is like a highlighter and blush in one. It is so nice. It is such a nice glow and such a nice colour as well. So today I'm going to be using this one here. I'm just going to use a little tiny bit. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm over it, so I just want a little bit of colour just as kind of a base. You can put the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm over this or under this. It depends on your preference. I've done both and it just kind of depends on the day, and it just so happens I've done my powder brush first, so that's going to go on top afterwards. So that is that blush. It's just so nice, and you can really build it up to be like intense if you want, but also like subtle and glowy too. So next up I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm Glowgasm wand. I'm just popping this on my cheeks and up into my temple. For me this acts as like a highlighter as well, and for days I don't want to wear a highlighter. It's so nice and glowy, but also gives you a little bit of pink on top, and it's just, oh, I'm just obsessed with it. This is such a good product. Definitely a holy grail. Definitely everyone needs it. I think everyone's seen Madison Beer use it. So you probably all have it from her, but it's just such a nice product. For the sake of this video, I'm going to put highlighter on. I don't always wear this, but when I do, which will be this one. This is MAC Oh Darling. This is what it looks like. So I just take a little tiny bit and then I just pop it up here, and then over my eyebrow as well. I don't really put it on like the apples of my cheeks anymore unless I'm going out and I want loads of highlighter. And then I'm also taking a little brush. By the way, that was the Nima brush Maria again. So far I've used a total of 2 brushes for the whole look. I'm just taking a little brush here and popping some highlighter on my nose too. And then some just here. And then above my lip too. For mascara, this is insane. It's so cheap and it's just the best. So it's the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. And I'm just popping this on. I obviously use eye glow as well. I have a whole video on that if you haven't seen that already. It's like 2 videos ago I think, of how my eyelashes grew so long. But this just like literally is a dream. It just accentuates them so much and makes them so dark. So what I do, I kind of just like wiggle the brush and then like blink and make sure, I probably look crazy on this but okay, make sure everything is coated. I'm not really a bottom lash mascara person, it just makes my eyes look weird. I don't know what it is, but just blinking basically and making sure everything is coated. Then on my outer corner, I actually never used these before, but I actually have used similar ones and I love them when I use them. They're like these little strip lashes, but they're all separate, so you put them on individually. So I'm going to use like 2 of them I think, just for my outer corners, just to kind of fan them out a little bit. Okay, so I just popped on 1 of them lashes on either corner of my eye just to kind of make them more fluttery and fanned out. So I also pop bronzer on my eyelids too, so I'm going to use the Gimme Sun for this one, and just kind of give myself a little wash. So shadow wise, that's the extent of what I do for my eyes, but then I also do a little flick at the end. I just kind of use any liner that I can find. So I'm using the L'Oreal Le Liner Signature eyeliner, and this is in the shade Noir Cashmere, and I'm going to pop this just on the very outer corner of my eye. I just do it really messy like that. I don't know if you can see because of them lashes. I should have done that before, but I just really roughly put it on. Okay, so the liner ended up going thicker than I wanted, which of course happens today when I'm doing this tutorial. So this is a flat top concealer brush. I just use this to make my wings a bit thinner, so I just go like that along them and then just makes them more faded and more subtle. Nearly there then. For faux freckles, I'm using the KASH Beauty Crystal Nights palette. I'm taking the shade Enchant. Any dark brown eyeshadow will work, but this palette is just the best. You can see how well loved it is. I'm just taking it on a little angled brush. This is the R25 from Rebelluna. I'm just making little dots. I know it looks scary at first because you're like, okay, they look like she drew them on, but trust the process again. I'd never let you down. So this is the before the freckles. Then taking your beauty blender, I basically just tap over them. And this will really just nicely fade them into your skin. Look how much more natural and like faded they look. So that is the look we're going for. We don't want like proper dots drawn on. Then for lips, I'm using MAC Cork liner. I kind of go between Cork and Strip Down a lot of the time. But yeah, I just chose Cork today. Then I'm using MAC Yash lipstick. I always go back in afterwards with the lip liner again just to make sure it's nice and blended. And then on top, I'm going in with the Fenty Gloss Bar. And drop my phone. This is in the shade, I think it's like the original one. It doesn't actually say. Oh, Fenty Glow. Whatever the original one is, this is what that is. If you haven't got this yet, where have you been living? And this then is the final look. I really hope you enjoyed that video. I have all the links and the shade names and stuff down below because I know I talk so fast sometimes. People are like, what did she even say? Especially my non-Irish subscribers are like, what did she say? Like, does anyone know what she said there? So I'll link them all down below. This week as well, I'm doing a little styling video, so summer styling video. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't already, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. I always say see you next week, like automatically, but I'll see you on the weekend. That's when my next video is, so I'll see you on Saturday, Sunday.